In this episode, we interview Vicente Del Real, founder of Iskali. Iskali is a nonprofit on a mission to empower and equip young Latinos with high-quality faith formation, enabling them to become transformative leaders. Thanks, everyone, for tuning into this episode. Today, we have Vicente Del Real, who is the founder of Iskali. Vicente, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate you taking some time with us on a Friday to chat about the amazing work that y'all are doing.
Well, I can just say thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to share a story. So thank you for the invite. Thank you for taking us into consideration, and I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. So per usual, we like to start with give us a very high level, what is the mission of Iskali?
Yeah, I mean, our mission is to empower and equip young Latinos to enable them to be transformative leaders. What that means is we work with young adults in the Latino community that need support. So we run a scholarship program. About 82% of young Latinos that register to college never graduate. So we run a scholarship program to support them in their educational journey. We also run a mentorship program where we match young Latinos to Latino professionals, because we know that a lot of first and second generation Latinos are going to school for the first time and they don't have a professional reference. Whatever their mom and dad do, that's all they know. So finding, Latino professionals to be their mentor. We also run a health initiative. So what that means is running club, a volleyball league, for example, right now, a basketball league, a soccer league. We charge $35 for 4 months. So we make playing in the sports very accessible to young Latinos in the community. And then we also have a pillar on faith initiatives where we help when we create the spaces for young people to connect to their faith and to their peers.
Yeah. Wow. Great. Yeah. Thank you for that background. And before we dive deeper into those programming that you mentioned, I'd like to hear about you. So why you as a founder? Like, what was the initial idea, the creation, the history, the why? Love to hear that background.
Yeah, thank you. So I was actually born and raised in Mexico in a very small town. It's a town of about 70 people. At the age of 15, my parents decided that they wanted to move to Chicago. So I'm 33 now. I've been here for 18 years. But at the age of 15, we moved to a suburb in Chicago. And man, that was hard, to leave your dreams behind, to leave your country behind, to your language, your culture, the people you love, your life. At the age of 15. So I experienced firsthand the immigrant experience and the immigrant story. And then I came over with a visa, and obviously we overstayed our visa. So I remember taking driver's ed in high school and asking my mom for a social security number to then request my license at the end of the class. And she's like, "You don't have one." And I was like, "Oh, no. I don't have one. Everybody has one in my class." And then learning what it was going to be for me, what it meant for me that I was going to be an undocumented student. I was in the top 10% of my high school, was chosen the student of the year. Yet there wasn't going to be a clear path for me to go to school. And then I noticed that a lot of my friends that were Mexicans didn't have a social security neither. So I started to see that it was going to be a struggle. Thank God I was able to get involved, and I learned that I could go to school, and I can pay institution, that it was going to be difficult, but I did it. But when I was 20 years old, I saw the need of organizing young people and organizing resources around young Latinos that had big dreams, big wings, but not necessarily had a space to develop as leaders. So that's where Iskali came from. kind of helping, now when I see our scholarship recipients, when I see the mentees, they are about, 12, 10 years older, younger than me. And I see myself in them, I wish that when I was struggling going to school, somebody would have given me the hand that now we are giving to a lot of our students.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for that background. I feel like it's not often when at least I get to speak to somebody who has gone through, that process at an age where they remember. Like, you were 15 when you came over, right? So sometimes like people come over when they were just born, so they don't remember what that experience is like, or haven't developed friendships or foundation. So yeah, and I'm sure you have some memories too of that whole process, and kind of being able to speak to those memories and how they feel. You could probably connect with a lot, or some of the people that you, or at least in the initial inception of the organization, are trying to serve. So I bet that's really core to the services that y'all are providing.
I remember my first investment was, they used to give us homework and the instructions were in English. So I went to Walgreens and bought like a little box that was a translator. You will type a word in Spanish and then translate, and it will type it to you in English. So I would translate word by word because you wouldn't translate phrases.
Yeah.
And imagine, how many words, how many significance they have. I will translate word by word. By the end, it did not make any sense.
Yeah, the sentence structure just made no sense.
Everything easier now. But it cost me $50. I never forget it.
Yeah.
$50, it was not very useful.
Oh my gosh. So another thing, so your organization, and you mentioned the mission statement, to empower and equip young Latinos with high quality faith formation. Y'all would you consider yourselves a faith-based organization, like based on inception?
So we are a faith-based organization. Mm-hmm. We are rooted in the Catholic tradition. We of human dignity and serving those that are in the margins. So the faith-based programming that we have is rooted in the Catholic tradition. However, you do not have to be Catholic to benefit from any of everything that we offer, and that's also a Catholic value, right? We serve people not because they are Catholic, but because we are Catholic.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and I asked that because a member of our teammates I just spoke with yesterday. We just had our first daughter 11 months ago, and we're having another girl in January. And I was raised Catholic, and I wouldn't say I'm right now fully practicing, but I'd be very wrong if I were to say that who I am today hasn't been in some way influenced by kind of what the Catholic values that I was raised on, going to church throughout my life, even though it was forced when I was younger, right? You still like sit in the pews, you still hear the stories. Yeah, we all were. You still hear the stories, and they definitely leave imprints on you. And I think they definitely have molded me to who I am today. And we mentioned that a lot of times all these religions have a very similar end goal, and very similar values that they teach. So yeah, I think that upbringing, from what I can relate to, is definitely powerful. So that's why I was asking about the faith-based programming that you all do, and what you try to, what are some of the goals of those programs?
Yeah, if I can share a story, when the migrant crisis happened about 4 years ago in the border, when all the unaccompanied minors went to the border. 6 of us decided that we were going to take 2 weeks off and go and volunteer in the shelters on the border. And so we went to volunteer in a Catholic charity shelter. And, we read in the Bible, help the migrant, welcome the migrant, help, brother, love everybody as your brother. And oh my God. I remember every single day I went to bed and crying. We will welcome, migrants that hadn't showered in 2 months, people that were kidnapped in Mexico and whose daughters were abused in front of them. Just the stories that you hear there, it was just like, like if you do not love your brother and sister, God is probably not your father, So my commitment to serving underserved communities has greatly been influenced by a call, to do something greater than myself. Mm-hmm. And I feel that a lot of young people nowadays are missing that, right? We see all the struggles that we're happening or we are suffering in society, violence, depression, lack of resources. And we never think of ourselves as the answer, but maybe some of the people that are listening to your podcast are the answers to, or they're going to be figures that are going to be, create projects that will respond to great needs.
Yeah, that's a goal. It's a goal is to rally all the people and help everyone realize their capacity to give back and just kind of give them a blueprint and some awesome organizations like yourselves that they can get involved with. So that's great. So other than the faith-based programming, I'd love to hear a little bit more about the different programs you're doing with the youth that you're working with, and maybe how over the past few years, how has that programming changed or evolved? I'd love to hear that progression.
So one of the big adds to our programming that we have had is the educational advancement and professional development, because we very, very soon, as soon as we started working with young people, we noticed that they were struggling to go to school. So then we started looking at data. And we found out that about 80% of Latinos in Chicagoland do not go to four-year universities. They go to community colleges. And then we found out that about 83% of Latinos that go to community college don't graduate from community college. So the vast majority of young Latinos that go to school do not graduate. So we saw the need of creating a support system, So that's why we developed our scholarship program, because, that's what we are called to do. We know that the one metric that helps young people move up in the social ladder of economic movement is education. Is the one metric that is present. So we know that if we want young Latinos to move in the social economic ladder, they need to get educated, and the vast majority of them are not. I usually say, this is an emergency in front of us. So we have the scholarship program that promotes them. However, the cool thing about a scholarship program is that if you receive a scholarship from us, you need to commit to a mentor. Yeah. Because we do not want you to follow through the cracks. And Joseph, I know that you have had mentors in your life. I know that without mentors, I will not be where I am today. So we are, creating a culture where mentorship is valued and looked for. So now you hear that they are looking for their own mentors, but we all need somebody to guide us. We all need somebody to advise us at different moments. So we are very intentional about looking for Latinos that are established in their careers and are professionals to now mentor the next generation of leaders and professionals.
Yeah. How have you been able to track over time the organization Iskali's impact? Are you able to know how many people go through the scholarship program or how many people attend the programming? How has that process been?
So we track metrics in our different program. One of the metrics is one of the things that we are very intentional about and being careful about is we want to know who or which students that are involved in our scholarship program and our mentorship program are graduating. However, we are a very young organization. We are only 4 years old. So we don't have data on our first generation. In the next 2 years, we're going to start getting data on our first generation. And I'm excited to see, what percentage of our young people are graduating. And tracking data and tracking metrics and following the right way to evaluate is it's a learning curve that we're in now. But one of the things that we are very interested in is, tracking data on graduation rates of those that are members of both our scholarship.
Yeah, and then comparing it to what's the average, right? And that delta is the impact. So, absolutely. In addition to the scholarships, what you mentioned at the beginning of the call, there's a few other different programs that you're having some success with. I'd love to hear more about those specific programming.
Yeah, we also have so the sports, what we call the wellness initiatives. So one of the things that you'll find in a lot of the Latino neighborhoods is that there is no open spaces or gyms that are available for young people to play. And most of the leagues that exist and are outside of their neighborhood or are very expensive, $800, $1,000 to participate in a volleyball league downtown, right?
Yeah.
So for somebody that is thinking of paying for school, that is making a minimum wage, that is worried about doing homework, if we charge them over $50 to participate in any sports, they will not. So what we have created is a system where we look for funding to rent the space, to buy the equipment. So we just invite young people from the community to participate in our sports league. We have also run a running club where you don't have to pay, and we have 2 running coaches that teach you about running, that can give you feedback on the way you eat, because our bodies is the way we exist.
Yeah.
So if our body is not healthy, we're not going to be healthy. Our thoughts are not going to be healthy.
Yeah.
Our habits are not going to be healthy. So our bodies are a representation of who we are, and we know that amongst young people, diabetes, obesity, depression are real issues. So, how do we create a space where we hopefully create a little conscious on the importance on wellness and
healthy body, healthy mind. It's all connected. Yeah. So I come from a volleyball background, and you mentioned volleyball. What is the volleyball programming that you do? I'm really interested there.
Simple. So right now I'm actually, so every Thursday we have, I think we have 8 teams right now that are mixed, men and women. Yeah. So at 8 is the first game, and they play 3 games. Whoever wins the 2 is declared the winner, right? And they play each other. They play each other twice, and then they go to playoffs. So from 8 to 10:30, there's games of people that are subscribed or members of the league. They pay $35 to be. So they play each other twice. And then after 10:30, we have open gym to 11:30. So most of the people finish their game and leave, but a lot of young people, 20 to 30 stay and just play in the open gym.
And is this at night or in the morning?
Before the league, before people are organizing teams, we have about 2 months of open gym where people can just come, get to know each other. And then once they get to know each other, we create our teams so the teams are balanced.
Yeah.
So there's a competitive aspect to this, but I will say that the strongest aspect to our leagues is community, and competition is the second one, because we know that this is a space just to come and play.
Yeah. Wow. And that's every Thursday during the summer? Is it still going on right now?
Every Thursday. I think we're going to be done with this probably until September. And then once that is done, we send a survey and people vote what they want to see next. So we survey the participants and the people that are involved with us and see what they want, and we try to make it happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm absolutely going to follow up with you after this, because I'd love to stop by and play some volleyball.
Come and play. It's fun.
Yeah.
You have a lot of fun.
No, I love it. Awesome. So we kind of talked about the current program that you have. Like you mentioned, you're younger nonprofits, been around for 4 years. Are there any new programs that you're going to plan for the future, or are you just going to keep doing this current program that you're doing now since there's a lot of success with it?
What we want to do, Joseph, is we want to scale our programs. We want to, like, for example, last year we gave 6 scholarships. This year we give 30 scholarships.
Wow, that is scale right there.
It's a fivefold. So our goal next year is 100.
Yeah.
So it's not that we want to multiply our programming; is we want to scale what we are doing. We not only want to have one volleyball league; we want to have maybe hopefully one in Berwyn, Sister, another one in Merlos Park, Stone Park, maybe hopefully one in Little Village, Brighton Park. Right? There's all these neighborhoods that could benefit from having a low-cost league that will provide the local community an opportunity to participate. So our goal is not to multiply our programming, but to scale what we already have.
Got it. Get more people engaged, more youth. Awesome. Well, good. Yeah. So we covered what y'all have done. We've covered the history, what you're doing currently, what you have planned for the future programming-wise and organization-wise, planning to scale. The last 2 things that I usually want to cover are one, what type of engagement do you look for with new people? So with new program leads, or of course, you're always probably trying to attract more youth to come into the programming, volunteers, donations, I'm sure all the above, but are there specific engagement pieces or stuff that you look for?
Well, one thing that we are in great need of, because our mentorship program has been becoming very popular, is mentors. So if anybody that is listening has a small business, has found a career path that is very interesting, has a job that you believe that other people can benefit from doing, we go to our website and please apply to be a mentor. You will be interviewed before you get matched to a mentee. You will have to sign a code of conduct before you get matched. But we need mentors. I mean, that's, if you say, I have 100 volunteers, what do you need them to be? I will say, make them all mentors.
Yes.
All donations are welcome. I think there's a lot of people that are especially interested in education and ensuring that we are the fastest growing population, and whatever happens in the Latino community is going to affect every industry: education, religion, faith, businesses, technology.
Yeah.
And so we need to make sure the Latino community is educated. So if you have that interest, please go to our website and find our scholarship program and donate to the scholarship fund and help us multiply and scale the number of students that we can help. And then we have a number of things that we do. We have in October, we're going to have a 5K, come and run a 5K. We have our gala coming up November 19. Participate in our gala. And, just be a friend. If you know of a young adult that can benefit, let them know about us. But we would love to have everybody engage in whatever capacity they have.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is any events coming up? So 5K in October and Gala in November. And this is 2022.
Yes.
Yes. I'm assuming.
Well,
yes.
We have it every year.
So 5K and the Gala. Yes. Got it. Awesome. Well, good. So I think we covered everything that we want to. Usually, so the last thing that I usually ask our guests is there something you want to leave us with as we wrap up? Whether it be, something you want to tell our listeners, or maybe something that a mentor of yours in the past has told you that's kind of been, key to your drive and motivation, or anything else that you want to leave us with. I'd love to hear it as we wrap up.
Yeah. Well, I would just say that we are living in a very complex world right now, and there's a lot of problems and issues. And we don't have to be the solution to none of them, but we can all be part of the solution.
Yeah. Boom. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. This is great. Vicente, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it on a Friday. We're looking forward to sharing the work that you're doing, to getting it out there. Hopefully driving more mentors to come to your program and awareness of the events, but of course, sharing just the work that you all are doing to support the Hispanic community and the youth that you're working with. So really appreciate your time, and looking forward to staying connected in the future and maybe playing some volleyball here.
Of course. Thank you for sharing our story, and I hope to stay connected with you.
Awesome. Thanks for tuning into this episode. If you know of a great organization or individual leaving a positive impact, we'd love to tell their story. Check us out and contact us at gtzp.org. Don't forget, for more stories like this, you could also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Instagram followers are link trees in the bio. And for podcast listeners, we're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Thanks for listening, and see you again soon.